Olumide Macaulay has the sports news.
Thank you, Gimba. Welcome to Sports News. As the 19th National Sports Festival draws near, Delta State Governor Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa has promised Team Delta the sum of 1 million naira for every gold medal won. The governor earlier today met with the state's contingent at the Stephen Keshi Stadium shortly before their departure for Abuja for the festival, which begins on Thursday. A total of 800 athletes will represent the states and are expected to participate in about 32 events at the Games.
Forth on behalf of Delta State, and you have to work hard with all commitment, with all courage to make Delta State proud. And I believe that we cannot go behind. Every man prays to go forward. We can only pray, not just to win, but to win with more gold, because we want to make a statement. You are going. Probably when you come back, we'll discuss a lot of things. But for every gold medalist, 1 million naira.
The Minister of Sports and Youth Development, Barrister Solomon Delong, wants more funding for women's sports development in the country. Mr. Delong is impressed with the Super Falcons and what they achieved at the Women's Africa Cup of Nations. He's excited the ladies have won more laurels for the country than the men, in spite of the numerous challenges they face.
We must begin to take the issue of investment in women in sports more serious than before. From experience, if you have a women team in a competition, you have little crisis. The crisis associated with competition of men is so minimal. If you have anything coming from the women, then go and investigate. There is a hidden injustice that is being suppressed, so they will now react. Otherwise, they are very easy to manage and they are committed.
Finally, World Athletics body IAAF has upheld a ban against Russia's Athletics Federation over doping in the country, pending full access to doping data stored in Moscow and financial compensation. Russia's Athletics Federation has been suspended since 2015 over a report commissioned by the World Anti-Doping Agency and found evidence of widespread state-sponsored doping in the sport. The IAAF insists Russia's anti-doping agency still needs to meet certain criteria.
Today accepted the task force's recommendations not to reinstate Rusev until the following two conditions have been met in full. The Athletics Integrity Unit must confirm that it has been given all of the data and access to the samples that it needs to determine which of the Russian athletes in the LIMS database have a case to answer for breach of the IAAF anti-doping rules.
And that's where we leave it on Sports News. The News at 10 continues with Gimba.
France has reversed its decision to continue with a fuel tax that has sparked protests by thousands in the past 3 weeks. Prime Minister Edouard Philippe announced the suspension of the measures over the next 6 months until a proper debate is held with those affected. The Yellow Vest protest began as a backlash against the President Emmanuel Macron's fuel tax hikes, but have tapped into a vein of deep dissatisfaction felt towards the 40-year-old's economic reforms, which many voters feel favors the wealthy and big businesses. Western Military Alliance, NATO, has accused Russia of breaching the 1987 Intermediate Range Nuclear Forces Treaty and threatened to withdraw from the agreement unless it returns urgently to the full and verifiable compliance. But Russia has denied undertaking any such development of land-based intermediate-range cruise missile. NATO allies, led by Germany, pressed on U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo at a meeting in Brussels to give diplomacy one last chance before Washington pulls out of the deal. The 1987 Intermediate Range Nuclear Forces, the INF Treaty, bans ground-launched medium-range missiles, with a range of 500 to 5,500 kilometers. US senators say that they are confident the Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman knew in advance of the murder of Jamal Khashoggi. The relations comes after a private briefing by US CIA director with several Senate committees on the killing of the Saudi journalist. The CIA says that it had evidence that Jamal's messages with Saudi al-Qahtani, former Saudi Kingdom's royal court advisor, who allegedly oversaw the murder. South Carolina Republican Senator Lindsey Graham has described the Saudi royal as a wrecking ball, crazy and dangerous. Khashoggi was killed in the Saudi consulate in Istanbul in October. However, the Saudi government have charged 11 people but denied the Crown Prince was involved. And the main news again. Protesting National Assembly workers today shut the National Assembly complex over unpaid wages. They are asking the leaders of the Assembly to pay either their emoluments or forfeit their legislative sitting. Also today, President Muhammadu Buhari restated his commitment to rescuing the remaining Chibok schoolgirls kidnapped in 2014, and he said that Nigeria will welcome any kind of support from any quarters to make it happen. And also, the police in Cross River State today dispelled rumors of deaths from communal clashes in the state as the presidency called for calm and an end to violent clashes in Cross River State. And that's how it's been on the news at 10 tonight. On behalf of everyone here, have a splendid night rest. I am Gimba Omar. Good night.